Hi, everyone. So today I would like to read out of Michael Singer's The Untethered Soul. And I'm going to really skip a lot because I'm going to read out of chapter 16, The Spiritual Path of Non-Resistance. And I think this is something that I see showing up around me everywhere. So it's absolutely in my consciousness. So I need a reminder. And if you're watching this, you probably do too. So, chapter 16, the spiritual path of non-resistance. One should view their spiritual work as learning to live life without stress, problems, fear, or melodrama. Don't we all want that? No more drama. This path of using life to evolve spiritually is truly the highest path. And I think that's what a lot of us forget sometimes because we're not taught to do that. Like we are thinking, oh, we need to meditate today. We have to carve out an hour to be spiritual. But our whole life is the journey. Every single thing, every encounter is part of your spiritual journey. It is how you react to life that is really getting you out of the melodrama and the stress and the anxiety and the fear. So let's see what he says. There really is no reason for tension or problems. Stress only happens when you resist life's events. If you're neither pushing life away nor pulling it toward you, then you are not creating any resistance. It's so simply said, but it's much more complicated to do. You are simply present. And that's what also Eckhart Tolle talks about, the power of now, like to be present in the moment. In this state, you are just witnessing and experiencing the events of life taking place. If you choose to live this way, you will see that life can be lived in a state of peace. And I know that it works that way because when I do that, and when I'm capable of staying in that state for a while, then I have truly a blissful life. It definitely works that way. But then all of a sudden something happens, and there we go again. What an amazing process life is. This flow of atoms through time and space. It's just an internal sequence of events that takes form and then instantly dissolves into the next moment. That's what it is. Like we live moment after moment after moment, like the now in the now and the now, you know? So if you resist this amazing force of life, tension builds within you and gets into your body, mind, and spiritual heart. It is not difficult to see the tendency towards stress and resistance in daily life. But if we want to understand this tendency, we must first examine why we are so resistant to just letting life be life. Isn't that an amazing question? Why are we resisting? Most of the people that are watching this, you know that resisting life is what causes you to be anxious or depressed or have like a lot of drama. We know it. So why is it so difficult? What is it inside of us that even has the ability to resist the reality of life? Interesting question. If you look carefully inside yourself, you will see that it is you, the self, the indwelling being that has this power. It is called willpower. I love this. So simple, so simple. I think Michael Singer is just a genius in saying things in a way that they're so easy to understand. Will is a real force that emanates from your being. It is what makes your arms and legs move. They don't just move randomly by themselves. Can you imagine? They move the way they do because you assert will to make them do so. You use the same will to hold on to thoughts when you want to concentrate on them. The power of self, when it is concentrated and directed to the physical, mental, and emotional realms, create a force, and we call that force will. That's what you use when you try to make things happen or not happen. You're not helpless in there. You have the power to affect things. It's amazing to see what we end up doing with our will. We actually assert our will in opposition to the flow of life. If something happens that we don't like, we resist it. But since we're resisting we're resisting has already, but since what we're resisting has already taken place, what good is it to resist it? If your best friend moves away, it's understandable that you don't like it, but your inner resistance to that event for years to come does not change the fact that they did indeed move away. It does not do anything to the reality of the situation. So that's such a, like, while I'm reading it, like I'm digesting it and I see all the things that happened over the last week. And so you don't change the event by resisting it, which is so like profound and deep. I'm going to sit with that. You don't change the event by resisting it. It's amazing to see what we end up doing with our will. We actually assert our will in opposition to the flow of life. Very, very cool. We actually assert our will in opposition to the flow of life. I just wanted to repeat that because it's really, while I'm reading it, I'm digesting it. And I hope you're doing that with me, because this is going to help you to really, really like get out of the cycle, like of repeating all the things that you don't want to repeat all the time. The fact is, it cannot be argued that we're resisting the actual situation. For instance, if somebody says something that we don't like, obviously our resistance won't stop them from having said it. What we're really resisting is the experience of the event passing through us. We resist how it makes us feel. What we're really resisting is the experience of the event passing through us. I read that already. We don't want it affecting us inside. We know it is going to make mental and emotional impressions that will not fit with what's already in there. So we assert the force of will against the influence of the events in an attempt to stop it from passing through our hearts and minds. In other words, the experience of an event does not stop with our sensory observation of it. The event has to pass through the psyche at an energetic level. This is a process we experience every day. The initial sensory observation touches our mental and emotional energy pools, creating movements in the energy. These movements pass through the psyche, much like physical impact ripples through water. Amazingly, you actually have the ability to resist these movements of energy. The assertion of willpower can stop the energy transfer and what it creates, and that's what creates the tension. You can wear yourself out, struggling with the experience of a single event, or even a single thought or emotion, and you know that all too well. It's true. Eventually, you'll see that this resistance is a tremendous waste of energy. The fact is, you're generally using your will to resist one or two things, that which has already happened or that which hasn't happened yet. It's so true. It's what I spoke about last week about anxiety and depression. Anxiety is when you worry about the future, and depression is when you're dwelling in the past. So that's exactly what it is. Let me read that sentence again. In fact, the fact is you're generally using your will to resist one or two things, that which has already happened or that which hasn't happened yet. You are sitting inside resisting impressions from the past or thoughts about the future. Think of how much energy is wasted resisting what has already happened. You know, it's what Joe Dispenza says, like, oh, he's in a mood. He's not in a good mood. So what happened? Oh, 25 years ago, his wife passed away and he cannot get over it. And I'm not saying that it is not something that is a sad story. But if you keep dwelling in that, then it's not only the event that happened that is touching you, but you're just wasting all the time dwelling in it. So it's not a good thing. That's how you make your life miserable. And that's where the suffering starts. Since the event has already passed, you're actually struggling with yourself, not with the event. Exactly. In addition, contemplate how much energy is wasted resisting what might happen, since most of the things you think might happen never do. You are just throwing your energy away. So true. You worry, you worry, you worry for something that isn't happened yet. How you deal with your energy flow has a major effect on your life. If you assert your will against the energy of an event that has already happened, it is like trying to stop the ripples caused by a leaf dropped into the lake. Anything you do causes more disturbance, not less. Whatever you give energy grows. When you resist, the energy has no place to go. It gets stuck in your psyche and seriously affects you. It blocks your heart's energy flow and causes you to feel closed and less vibrant. It is literally what is happening when something is weighing on your mind or when things just get too heavy for you. It is a human predicament. Events have happened, and we continue to hold their energy inside of us by resisting them. Now, when we face today's events, we are neither prepared to receive them nor capable of digesting them. This is because we're still struggling with past energies. Over time, the energies can build up to the point that a person becomes so blocked that they either blow up or shut down completely. This is what it means to get stressed out or even totally burned out. This is so important to understand, you guys. Like, don't let it go that far. We are not aware. We are not aware that this is exactly what's happening. And now that I'm reading it and you listen to it, I know that you know that this is true. Otherwise, you would not be listening to me and you would have not come into my orbit. So this is what it means to get stressed out or totally burned out. And a lot of people these days are either stressed out or burned out, or both. There's no reason to get stressed out. There is no reason for blowing up or shutting down. If you do not let this energy build up inside of you, but instead allow each moment of each day to pass through you, then you can be as fresh every moment as you would be on a stress-free vacation. So if you just allow it to come to and through you, you would be stress-free. It is not life's events that are causing problems or stress. It's not that car that cut you off. It's not that raise that you didn't get. It is your resistance to life events that is causing this experience. It is your reaction to everything that is happening in your life that is causing you stress. Since the problem is caused by using your will to resist the reality of life passing through you, the solution is quite obvious. Stop resisting. If you're going to resist something, at least have some rational basis for resisting. Otherwise, you're irrationally wasting precious energy. Be willing to examine the process of resistance. In order to resist, you must first decide that something is not the way you like it. Plenty of events make it right through you. Why did you decide to resist this one? What an amazing question. Something inside of you must have a basis for deciding when to simply let things pass through and when to assert willpower to either push them away or cling to them. Cool, no? There are a billion things that don't bother you. You drive to work every day. You hardly notice the buildings and the trees. The white lines on the road don't stress you out at all. You see them, but they pass right through you. Don't assume, however, it's that way for everyone. Someone who paints street lines for a living could get very stressed out if those white lines were not even. So true. In fact, they could get stressed out that they refuse to drive down that road anymore. It's clear that not all of us resist the same things or have the same issues. This is because we don't have the same preconceived notions of how things should be or how they should matter to us. If you want to understand stress, begin by realizing that you carry around with you your own set of preconceived notions on how things should be. It is based upon these notions that you assert your will to resist what has already happened. Where did you get these preconceived notions? Let's say that seeing azaleas in bloom stresses you out. Surely that doesn't bother some people. Why does it bother you? All we need to know is that you once had a girlfriend who grew azaleas and she broke up with you when they were in bloom. Now, every time you see azaleas in bloom, your heart closes. You don't even want to go near the things. They just create much more disturbance for you. These personal events that take place in your life leave impressions on our minds and hearts. Those impressions become the basis for asserting our will to either resist or cling. It's no deeper than that. So I'm going to stop reading here because I just want you to get like a little taste of what Michael is talking about in The Untethered Soul. And I guess that a lot of you watching this already read the book. But I think this is the kind of book that you have to read over and over and over again. Why? Because every time you read it, you're a different person reading it. So you're going to learn and have other aha moments. So I was reading chapter, what did I say, 14? 16, the spiritual path of non-resistance. So I'm going to leave you with that, guys. Check it out. Take the book from the shelf and read it. If you don't resist, your life is going to start looking completely different, stress-free, no anxiety, just bliss. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Bye-bye for now.